Alright, we should be live. Okay, we should be live. G'day there, ladies and ladians. Welcome back to our Dragon Quest IX Let's Play. Last time, well, we managed to unlock the Armamentalist Vocation, which took a bit, but we got there. And we tried our hand at Faith versus the Dreadmaster. Didn't quite do as well as I thought we would, but through some voting we have decided to go with the Ranger Vocation. And so, here we are. We may as well equip ourselves. Dang, we can't equip the magic armor, or the enchanted armor. Not as great. That's really bad if we can't really get any, like, defense going. Yeah, we're not looking too good on defense. So, let's go for a bit of a shopping spree before we do anything. It'd be great to get a different kind of fashion, you know? So, what's I got? Yeah, we are very poor, so we'll go to the bank, get some money, and then maybe go some shopping. Alright, I would like some money, please. There we go. I would like to withdraw. We don't need too much. If we go 10,000, that should be more than enough. Man, we're rich. Hello, cutie! How's it going? Welcome to Dragon Quest IX. How are you today? I guess it's, like your nighttime, right? So does that mean you're American? Like, USA? Yeah, so we'll go here for shopping. Oh, Brazil, that's interesting. You don't get too many people from Brazil, but that's like... Is that no. I'm just trying to remember which continent is that in. Like, it's not... Is it South America's? Like, that region? That continent? Like, I probably should know this, but I've forgotten. Just south of USA. Yeah, south. Gotcha. Yeah, I thought so. I'm like, yeah, it's around there. My other guess is going to be like around the UK. I'm like, no, it doesn't make sense. And it's like, no, it's not near Africa or Asia. Brazil is like South America. But that's pretty cool. You know, is there really much of a difference between these? Not really. Excellent. Can we get any other clothing? That'd be great. Deafness. We want defense. Oh, don't worry about the music. It's just, there's a bit of a crisis going on, but I'm doing a shopping spree. How far into the game are we? We are about halfway. Relatively speaking. At least, like, plot-wise. In terms of the challenge, we've still got about another 10 more bosses to go. So, quite a bit. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good boots, but we kind of want the evasion chance. Alright, that'll do. Now we'll go for a grinding, like montage, I guess. So, we'll head elsewhere. But yeah, I'm glad you're able to join. I know that there's a lot of questions I could probably ask on your streams, but at least on my stream, how are you enjoying the SPC so far? I see that you've been, you know, doing some of the Pokedoku. At the very least though, there's plenty of creators in there if you wanted to meet new people, you know? I think I've got an EXP multiplier on, so it's about 4 times the experience. I'm enjoying it, happy to be around, that's always good to hear. Yeah, like when you joined, it was like the day of my special episode of Pokemon Links, which was pretty exciting. But we do have other kind of events in the future. We got Pokemon Jeopardy in the works. I was actually working on it last night, actually. So I've been, yeah, like writing up a bunch of the questions. I've got like essentially one round of it organized, but ideally I want to like have 2 rounds of it, so another 25 questions. There was a post about it in the SPC, so you could potentially still join. At the moment we got 4 people, but that's still plenty enough. Although I guess, sorry, with your speech thing, it'd be kind of awkward, wouldn't it? Sorry. I forgot about that for a second. Yeah, I don't know how that would work, if I'm being honest. But yeah, Pokemon Jeopardy is definitely a possibility. If I work on it a bit more, we should be able to do it next week. And, you know, you'll be able to listen in, you know, like we can all join the voice call, you can mute yourself if you really want, you know. I might have a thing where you do like a phone a friend, but I understand if that'll be difficult. Alright, we need to go to the next part of our training. Yeah, don't worry, I'm happy to be on the crowd. Yeah, that's all good. You know, 25 questions I've got so far are, you know, pretty interesting and broad. So I just gotta make 25 more, and then we should be good. We have 4 contestants, 2 rounds of 25 questions, maybe a bonus question here or 2, right, yeah, here or there rather. So I reckon it should be fun. Let's see. Any other events going on? I'm doing a one-shot of a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop experience for some members. I don't know if that's going to be live streamed or if it's going to be into a VOD, but that'll be fun. I'm like hosting as a GM, Dungeon Master, or Game Master. Excellent. Now we got plus 30 attack, which is great. I know that you can't stay too long, probably because you gotta sleep, so, you know, feel free to leave whenever you want. Come back here. Alright, let's see how strong our Comet Punch is now. Here we go. See, that is much stronger. I'll say a bit. Sleep is for the weak. I agree. I'm a bit of a night owl myself. I'm in Australia, so it's like you know, 10 past 11 a.m. for me. But yeah, like I don't really know too much like about you, obviously, because we only just met the other day. But you seem to be pretty good with the Pokemon like difficulty, because you're playing like one of the like more difficult ROM hacks, aren't you? Especially randomized, so I imagine you're pretty good. What kind of games do you like? Do you like turn-based? Do you like action? You're a Pokemon fan? What's your favorite gen? You know? Just really anything. It's good to start to get to know each other, you know? We gotta look out for each other. I haven't played that Emerald ROM hack, but it does seem pretty interesting. Like, seeing some quality of life features it has. You know, there's definitely other ones that are, like, you know, different. But that one looks pretty good. I love RPGs in general, but I play whatever I can get my hands on. Fair enough. Yeah, I think you'll... Like, if you pick up this game, I think you'll enjoy it. It's one of my favourite games of all time. Let's see, let's go to around here. Try training up here. So, yeah, this game, Dragon Quest IX, came out on the Nintendo DS. And it's one of my favourite games of all time. Like, definitely top 10, you know? So, I imagine that if we got similar kind of enjoyments, that you might enjoy this. You play any Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy or anything? You're doing decent damage. Dragon Quest is one of those franchises that I don't know how I haven't played yet. Yeah, there's a lot of it. It kind of stopped after this one, because, like, Dragon Quest X was a, like a MOBA, I think? And it was, like, Japanese exclusive or something. So I understand missing out on that one. But then there was Dragon Quest XI. That was, that came out around, like, 2017 or so. And then recently we got the remake of Dragon Quest III, so... Yeah, it did kind of stop around, like, you know, 2010. But it's starting to get back, you know? Like, we may as well rest up over here. Like, there's the remake of Dragon Quest 1 and 2 coming out as well. And I think you can get a bunch of them on Switch on the eShop. Like, you can get 1, 2, 3. Might be able to get others, but... It's a pretty fun series. And whatever your first Dragon Quest is probably going to be your favourite. This wasn't my first played, but this was my first completed Dragon Quest, if that makes sense. Yeah, so we'll go to around Bloomingdale, see how we go there. Let's see. Oh yeah, with your speech impediment, I don't know if it's like too much of a personal question or anything, but is that like a medical thing, or is that, just like, I guess, how you speak? Like, no offense or anything, you know? Just curious. I guess if it's too personal, you can DM me. That should be perhaps better if it's, you know, too personal or something. It's fine. I stutter a lot. It's alright. Like, you know, stutter's not too bad. You're talking to a guy that has a lot of patience. We're actually close to dying. We might die here. Oh, we gotta dodge. You're not attacking. Dang it. But yeah, like, you know, it's up to you. But personally, I have a fair bit of patience. And I probably started a bit as well, but I don't think it's enough to really, yeah. We all start a little bit, so you know, you gotta be a little bit open to others with the patience, you know. We're not battling you. We're not battling you. We want to try and battle you. Well, I bet you got an amazing voice, you know? I bet if you sing, you know, all the birds chirp along, you know? See, this is great. When we have one target, we can do massive damage. We are getting there. We did calculations. We won't be able to get to 100 with our vocation. Also, if you have any questions about kind of what I'm doing or what the challenge is, you can let me know. But we need to move on to somewhere a bit more luxurious in the experience. These guys are pretty easy. Oh yeah, sorry for like dipping out so early in your stream last night. My brother wanted to play a game, so I couldn't really stay long, you know. If you don't care in running me through the rules. Okay, gotcha. So this game, you can have up to 4 players, but I'm doing a solo run. So I'm only doing it by myself. However, this game has this skill point system, and that allows you to get really strong. Like, anything we put into Fisticuff will be transferred for whatever vocation we go with, which is like a class, right? So basically, the more skill points you have, the more powerful you as a unit become. So, for example, in this Ranger class, if I get 22 points in this, I get increase of agility by 20, right? No matter what class I go with, I've got that permanent plus 20 agility. Alright? Same kind of thing with any skills. As long as it's like corresponding to the weapon. So if I get this cross-cutter throw in the boomerang, I can only do that if I have a boomerang. So I'm going with the Fisticuff because we get some evasion chance, and it's really anything that anyone can use because each vocation has their own weapon restriction. Like, this ranger won't be able to use a sword, for example. However, you can always use the Fisticuff by just unequipping, so I'm going for the Fisticuff. So, basically, to kind of compensate for the system, I'm imposing a level cap, which will determine how many skill points I can obtain. And then I'm getting 3 tries at a boss before I need to change. If I run out of all the vocations, the run is over and I am defeated. So the idea is that we, throughout our vocations, or classes, we build up the most perfect unit that's that's as strong as 4 people, essentially. Oh boy. So, for example, right, we can't normally wear a shield, But because we use enough skill points to max it out on other classes, we can now equip a shield no matter what class we are. I hope that all makes sense. Also, to compensate for the rewards of battle, I am also using like a gold multiplier, because normally you'll get 4 times the experience if you're doing solo, but you're not really getting 4 times the gold because the gold is shared. So I'm using a gold multiplier, I hope. I'll double check my action replay codes in a sec, but I'm using a gold multiplier to compensate. It's mostly for buying equipment and healing items, and I don't want to be in a spot where I can't afford to buy herbs, you know? Alright, we can finish it off with a multi-fist. At the moment though, we have, we're kind of open world in a bit, right? We got 3 different bosses that we can battle, but we're kind of struggling for them, so we're on a bit of a grinding montage at the moment, where we are trying to increase our skill points. Now I could go for the boulder toss. That could be useful. I think we should probably just get it anyway. Also going Fisticuff because it's close enough to a Ladian with that multi-fist. One of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. So I don't know how long you're planning to stay awake, but we could potentially showcase a boss battle once we get to the level cap. The level cap is arbitrary, there is, in RPG fashion, no real level cap. So, and there's no, action replay code to turn off experience. So I do need to be careful about that. So, if you're into RPGs, what's your favourite kind? Do you prefer turn-based or do you prefer action? Would you be more Skyrim or Witcher, or are you more Divinity or Final Fantasy or Pokemon? You know, what's your favourite RPG? Let's train up around Batsureg. See what we can do around here. Turn-based. Yeah, I'm more of a turn-based as well. I think part of it was the terrible internet growing up, and so you can't really do real-time games. And there's always something about knowing what to do with the strategy, you know? So I also prefer turn-based. I'll do the occasional action RPG, but for the most part, it's turn-based for me. Hello, Mediasaurus! Welcome! Just talking to Cutie Mutie, one of our newest members of the SPC. We're also kind of low on health here. That's not great. Okay, I didn't expect him to stun lock me like that, you know? That's embarrassing. Luckily it's not like a Nuzlocke or anything, eh? But, if you are curious, Cutie, I'm also planning on doing a Pokemon Black or White 2 playthrough. You were in today's stream. Gotcha. Alright, we're not battling you because you can stun lock us, but you should be able to a little bit easier. Yeah, because I'm planning to play Pokemon Black or White 2 because I haven't played those before. But I'm also planning a unique challenge for it for my first time playing. So that should be fun. I'll be doing that after this, after this series, whether we win or lose, I'll be moving on to it, you know? Let's see, my favourite RPG is Radiator Stories, followed close by Heir to Nellico. I have never heard of those. They sound pretty fun though, based on the name. Yeah, we may as well just put the points in. Yeah, I have, like, never heard of those. I'll have to look it up. PS2 games? Damn. Like, yeah, I had a PS2 as well, growing up. But I missed out on a few of the RPGs. It was more, I guess, just action games on the PS2 for me. But, you know, growing up and then interacting with the internet, I realised that I missed out on Dragon Quest VIII, which would have been great, and Final Fantasy X. Like, I played Final Fantasy X, I think, like, last year, just by myself, right? And I gotta say, I really enjoyed that. Maybe I'll do a playthrough of that. I didn't even complete it. I got to about halfway. I gotta heal up. But, yeah, like, I would have loved an actual RPG on the PS2, because I love that. You know, I was more playing, like, Ratchet and Clank, bit of Crash Bandicoot, there was Dragon Ball Z, you know, those kind of games. I played Final Fantasy X2 only, and my copy was in Japanese. Fair enough. Yeah, so I got the remake on Steam that has X and X2. I got halfway through Final Fantasy X, but I didn't even attempt X2, so I gotta try it in the future again. Wait, we are level 18. We're doing alright. So, I gotta look those games up. Radiator Stories and Heir to Nellico. Do you know if they're, like, on Steam or anything? Or Switch? Those are the consoles I have nowadays. Oh, I didn't know I could cast a spell. Final Fantasy X is my favourite media source. Fair enough. Yeah, I really enjoyed the kind of combat and how a buff will be permanent until, like, you know, dispelled. I found that pretty interesting. For me, Final Fantasy V is the best, but it was my first, so I am biased. Fair enough. That's kind of the same with me in this Dragon Quest. Like, you know, there's probably other Dragon Quest games that are better, but for me, this is the best. Oh, there we go. We got our coup de grace, which is a special ability tied to each vocation. So, let's do it. So, our defense, our breath defense, and our attack has increased. We're not even taking any damage at this point. Unless they use an insta-kill attack. I couldn't have predicted that. At least we don't lose levels or anything, which is great. But yeah, the games, the Radiator Stories and Heir to Nellico. Do you know if they're on PlayStation? Not PlayStation. If they're on Steam or on Switch? Because I could look into that. Also, we are not too far from the level cap, so we'll be battling a boss soon. Nope, sadly. Damn. Another game on the PlayStation series that I've heard is like really good is you got, I think, Jade Cocoon, which is kind of like a Pokemon game, You have, I guess, a Digimon world, which is also kind of Pokemon-ish. There was it Riders of Dragoon? I've heard that's pretty good. There's actually a lot of like RPGs on PlayStation games, aren't there? I just didn't really have any of them growing up. It's really hard to, I guess, share the experience with a bro, you know, when you have like a 50-hour JRPG. Alright, we don't need to do that, we can just go. They were forgotten by time. Yeah, that's sad. Maybe one day in the future, you know, they'll do a remake. It seems like they do a remake of everything these days. We can at least use an item. Alright, we're not too far from level 22. And then we gotta figure out which boss we're battling. Also, media says, I was telling Cutie that Pokemon Jeopardy is probably gonna be, I want to say next week, depending on when people want to do it. Radiate. There were fans remastering the whole game. That's always good. Like, things like that and like fan translations so that people can experience it is always pretty fun. I'm down. Yeah, so we got 4 people at the moment. If there's a sudden like surge in popularity and people start voting for it, it might have to be like a team event. You know, like in pairs or something. But, you know, at least as a spectator, you can always join. And I'm thinking of like a phone a friend thing, so maybe they'll call on you to help out. Obviously though, you gotta not Google anything, because that's against the spirit of the game, you know? And I don't really know how I'm gonna like set it up, but there's not really gonna be a way for me to police you, so there's gonna be no Googling, alright? If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. If you get it right, you get it right, kind of thing. There we go. Yeah, so I think we'll hit 22 after this battle. We'll just compare our stats to Gladiator and I guess the other ones to see which boss we should probably take on. There we go. We are at the level cap. So, now we shall go back to All Trades Abbey. Oh yeah, Kitty, this is like a very pun series, like Dragon Quest is all about puns, right? So, this is All Trades Abbey. The person in charge is Jack. And so, it's Jack of all trades, Abbey. Get it? There's a lot of puns like that. Before we were at Swine Dimples, you know. So I guess you can take a guess about what that's a pun of. Another word for swine and another word for dimples. So let's unequip everything. Avert your eyes if you need to. Oh, I forgot to take off the ring. So, let's compare stats. Now, I think I didn't strip the thief. Let me just double check. Yeah, I didn't strip. Alright, so let's unequip again. Alright. So, first of all, we'll go back to Ranger. Oh yeah, another part of the challenge is that we are not able to change vocation until we, like, succeed or... Well, I mean, not succeed, but until we fail. I'm just doing this to help compare with the stats, so we have a bit of an understanding. Alright. So, these are stats for Ranger. Decent. What was Gladiator? Let's see. Gladiator was pretty good. So, what about Thief? How do we compare to Thief? Slower, a little bit stronger, a bit more resilient, a little bit more HP. We're marginally better than a Thief. Only slightly better than a Thief. We're probably not as good as the Gladiator though. Yeah, that resilience and our strength. Okay, so... I don't know which boss to battle. Yeah, unfortunately we can't have good equipment. Like, this is decent. Let's try and find some better gloves. Maybe in Gleba. Alright. We're here to check out the shops. It's always a good touch when the equipment actually shows something kind. I really love that about this game. Not many games around this time would really do that, but this game is one of those games. So, ideally we want some gloves. Nope, no gloves. Really, nothing for us here. Dang it. Yeah, I really love that about this game. It doesn't show the accessory, but other than that, it's pretty good. And it shows up in the cutscenes. That's the most important part. I doubt Swine Dimples has anything. But yeah, it actually shows up in the cutscenes, what you're wearing, which is excellent. I love that. You know, usually games will, you know, have a overworld, maybe, or like in battle, but then as soon as it's cutscene, it's like canonical, you know? But here... they don't have gloves? Oh my god. Alright. Well, this is the best defense we got. So, let's, stock up on our healing items. And to prevent us from having just infinite healing items, we can have about, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At any given time, we can have 8 items on us for use in battle. So there is a limit to how much healing we can do. Okay, so in terms of boss battle, what are we thinking here? We are marginally better than the Thief, so the Dreadmaster could be a possibility. Alternatively, we are worse than the Gladiator, but we have higher block chance and evasion chance now, so that the Lizard might not be as bad. And that Lars is pretty rough, especially with like any kind of stun lock. It does get a bit rough. So, are we thinking a Lizard or a Teacher? How much MP have we got? We got 60 MP, so we got plenty enough. Wait, hang on. I think I saw. Oh, we got healing spells. Ooh, okay. That's something. We do have healing spells. So, we could battle, I think, either the Teacher or the Lizard. Given our coup de grace, we would be probably better suited for the Lizard because none of it affects like resistance to spells. I guess it's just defense and like breath and attack. So potentially the Lizard. So I'm gonna do a poll. Because I like polls, you know? Polls are always fun. Lizard or Wizard? Lizard or Wizard? There we go. So, either way really works. I could see like an argument for either way. But at the moment, it's looking like a Lizard is the way to go, which, you know, I don't hate that idea, you know? We're not as bulky as a Gladiator, although that being said, we are able to wear a shield, so maybe it's about even. And with the evasion chance and block chance, I think we've got a cumulative total of about 14% chance to avoid any kind of hit. The breath attack isn't even that bad, so I also think Lizard. Let's go for it. Glipper! Alright, cutie. We're gonna go for a boss battle. We need a win. Like, a win would be great, because then we can have a higher skill limit, you know, for future vocations, which effectively means more skill points. So the more bosses we can defeat in a vocation, the better. Godspeed, thank you. Like, I think, in terms of, like, story progression, this is the next logical boss. So I'm hoping that it's actually a bit easier than I'm thinking it is. And we did pretty good as a Gladiator, and with a shield and our evasion, we should be, you know, about the same. We've also increased our strength with Fisticuff. I need you to move. It's great that you can see the enemies on the overscreen like this. Dang it. Remember, this came out on the DS. Pokemon didn't do this until Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, I should probably ask Kitty, are you like a modern Pokemon fan or are you more retro? I mean, I guess it can be both, but people usually prefer one or the other. Pokemon is not a good comparison. Fair enough. They're a bit lazy. They are, aren't they? Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to Legends EA. Like, I'll get it if people really say it's good. And it holds up in about a year. But I'm not gonna get it day one, you know? Like, people said that Legends Arceus was, like, really good. And it's okay. But it definitely has its faults, you know? So, there's no doubt that people that have FOMO will scream that Legends EA is, like, the best. But I want to wait a year to see what the resentment is, you know? Like, how people are feeling about it. Come on, you can move. You can move. Move, you blob. You have to be in the middle of the pathway as well. Okay, we just managed to make that. We didn't even need to go that way. My bad. It's been a while. Do we go this way? Yeah, I think we go this way. She blob. Yeah, pretty much. It's great because you can really avoid the encounters if you want. Or if you really want to, you can try to hunt certain targets. So like, yesterday we were hunting metal slimes, which are really rare, and it was good. Come on. I can't really afford to beat him up, because if we go over the like level cap, then it's not going to be that great, you know? See, I'm the problem. Nintendo could kick me in the face and steal my lunch money, and I'd still give them more money. Ah, my guy. Oh boy. Yeah. Like, the FOMO is, like, strongest with Pokemon fan, as well as a nostalgia factor. Like, they really know how to appeal to you, you know? You just gotta be strong to resist. Like, for me, I'm a Pokemon fan, right? But because I am... hang on. But because I am a fan, I want Pokemon to be better. You know? So, I'm willing to, you know, wait it out. And so hopefully that Pokemon will, you know, get the message and improve the games. And I guess if everyone had my mentality, you know, would be able to make progress. But I also understand the FOMO. You know, you wanna be part of a conversation, you wanna be excited and sharing that. Alright, here we go. I'm very excited for Pokemon Champions. Hope they don't mess it up there. Yeah, I had made a video about it if you want to go check it out. But I am very skeptical about it at the moment. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I am skeptical. Alright. 57. That was a lot of damage. That was actually a lot of damage. Of course we outspeed for the heal. This is not gonna be easy. Okay, I'm fine when he does the fire. Why do we outspeed for the heal? I'm recording a series for that day one. Fair enough. I imagine that a lot of people will as well. Alright, we need him to scream or to breathe out fire. We don't need him to attack, alright? That's what we're aiming for. Or we get a good book like that. We don't really have... No, if we had buff it would be something, but we don't... We don't really have... Wait, what? I want to try that. That's pretty cool. I think it's only for one turn, but that's like a guaranteed protect and counterattack. So if we outspeed for the heal, right? Let's just go for another multi-fist. That was a strong one. Please survive. Okay, just. And at the very least we can attack while defending. Oh boy, it's a very intense battle. If you go out of the way, but we need him to keep doing that because that's not as powerful. We need him to scream and hopefully fail because that's kind of a nothing burger. We don't need him to attack. That'd be great. See, like in a 1v1 scenario, that's effectively like nothing, right? But we need him to keep doing that or to fire. It's a rough one. We're very low on healing as well. That was close. We're not really healing enough either. Oh jeez. Damn. Hello, I come from Shayland. Hello, son. You're just in time to witness, nothing. We didn't do a boss battle at all. Yeah, that was a bit rough. So, like, part of the challenge is that I've got 3 attempts per boss. So, I could either, well, like, 3 attempts at a boss. I could either switch to a different boss and have 2 attempts, or I could continue this and have 2 more attempts at this one. Do we want to try the other one, see how we go, and then make a decision? You did not miss anything at all, don't worry about it. I'm kind of interested in testing out how we go against the other one. So, you know, that was attempt number 1. We'll do attempt number 2 on this one, and then kind of see where we're feeling about which boss we're doing better against. Also so that Kitty can get a bit more diversity of the game. Let's see. Like, we're only a few skill points off from getting additional 60 power on our attack. which I don't remember the damage calculation, but at the very least it should be impressive, you know? Oh, you know what I realized as well? I gotta potentially turn off an EXP cheat, so it's kind of a good thing we didn't win that one. So, one sec. Okay, we should be good. Hopefully we don't get 4 times the experience, because the bosses give a fair amount. And that will basically get us to the next level cap anyway. Alright, made it here pretty easy. So, let's see if we can beat this guy, eh? These are the most cost-effective herbs I could find that are decent. I could probably Google if there's a better one to make, but these are working out pretty good for now. They also cure poison, which is neat, I guess. Alright. We are ready to try against this boss. Against this guy, we have a different strategy in mind. Alright. Now, this guy does a lot of spells. So... oh, nice dodge. Okay, magic mirror. There we go. So, now we... ouch. Okay, we need him to stop doing that. Ugh, that's not good damage. Oh, that's a good one. We aren't doing much damage, but hopefully we can reflect a bunch of spells at him. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Okay, we're doing alright. Doing alright. I think whenever he does attention, we go for block and spear. And then we just go back to multi-fist. Not much I could have done about that one. Reflect. Oh, that's a good block. Alright, we gotta reapply the bounce. This guy's like easy in a 4v1 when everyone has Magic Mirror, because his AoE spells keep reflecting against himself a lot. Uh-oh. I probably should have block and spear. Okay, it's not looking too good. Go for a spell, go for a spell. Dang it. It's okay. Our next vacation will be ultra powerful. But we have one more attempt at a boss, so which one are we feeling? I could showcase the third potential boss. If he wanted to. I doubt we're gonna win, but I can at least show it so that we know what we're dealing with. How does that sound? It's gonna be a bit more of a painful battle as well. Like, be honest, do you reckon we have a chance against any of those? I have to go, unfortunately. Good luck on your attempts. Thank you, cutie. I'll try to stop by your stream. You stream like pretty much every day, right? So I'll try to stop by later. But it was nice seeing you around here, you know? It was good. And we'll have to, you know, share some RPGs sometime. But have a good day. Well, have a good night. But yeah, I don't know if any of those bosses we could really beat. Have a nice day and night. Thank you, and I'll see you later. I don't think we have enough strength at the moment to really do any of them. But we can at least see how we compare to the one over here. And then we can make a more informed choice for later. Yo, Jabba the Hutt called. He said go back to the dungeon. Alright, laws. Reflect. Oh, and we are super fly with the dodges today. Not too bad. So, from memory of her health, if we do that again, we'll get to about 10%. So, 3 for 10, which means that we gotta do 30 attacks like that. Well, minus whatever she bounces back on herself. Can you cast some spells? Reflect? That would have been funny if it worked. Oh, now she casts a spell. Once the magic mirror has worn off. I hate this one. Like, she's also not that bad in a, you know, a 4v1, but in a 1v1 she's painful. Yeah, that's actually really annoying because she can attack while stun locking us like that. Effectively meaning that we can't really do anything. So no matter what vocation we go with, she is going to be a pain. Like, she could potentially destroy us no matter what we are. It would be so great if she could get affected by that. I hate how she's draining like MP as well. Okay, good block. Yeah, we're definitely not winning this one. See, like, as if that's fair, you know? Damn, she is rough. Well, that's our ranger out of commission. So, now we're going to change vocation. God. We have two options. Really. Right? We can go Armamentalist, or we can go Warrior. We could potentially go Martial Arts, but I would like to go Armamentalist or Warrior. What are we kind of thinking here? We're only like a few points off from maxing out our Fisticuff. And so if Armamentalist is about the same as Ranger, then we would effectively get more damage. And I guess getting the skill points for Warrior to max that out would be more ideal. So what's the stats looking like? Slightly more strength, which is interesting. Slightly less resilience. Slightly more HP, so maybe Armamentalist doesn't seem that bad. We also get a better MP if we need to do off a magic barrier, for example. So I'm kind of aiming for the Armamentalist. How about you guys? It doesn't seem that bad. We can quickly max out the Fisticuff. And then we can conserve our points for Warrior, Martial Artist, and Avenger Paladin. How does that sound to people? It's either that or we go Warrior. Put all the points into that. Potentially make the other vocations a bit stronger, but I think I'm gonna go Armamentalist. Alright, let's lock it in. So first of all, let me just let's do. Oh wait, not the green one. We need a black one. Copy. Duplicate. I think I duplicated the wrong thing. One sec. There we go. Good enough. Okay, so we are the Armamentalist. So let's equip it out. Oh, you serious? We can equip this? That's pretty good. Yeah, like, the Ranger isn't able to wear good armor, so we will have more defense. We are looking better, that's for sure. So let me go ahead and put that EXP sheet on. And let's grind it out. I think Armamentalist has a good chance at it. Especially with upgrading our fist, we'll be doing more damage. Hopefully we're taking less damage, which should give us a better chance overall. Also, I guess I can showcase this skill. Hey-ya! Damn, that did pretty good damage. Not gonna lie. That was actually really good damage. We can't upgrade our fist. I thought we could. Well, this is a bit awkward. Well, I don't have super high hopes for Armamentalist, but we'll be able to save it up for the Warrior. I think the Warrior is a bit more valuable than a lot of this, because, like, sure, Strength and Resilience is great, but other than that, we don't really need anything. Obviously, HP at the end there would be pretty good, but that's like 22 points. Which is a fair amount. And we could, you know, get that towards Warrior, which has better things for this. So, Armamentalist is just going to be here for getting some skill points, I think. I really thought it could use Fisticuff. That's my bad. But, you know, we learn. Okay, it does mean when we become warrior, we will be super strong. Just putting it out there. We will be super strong. Yeah, we can't really do anything with these levels. Which is unfortunate. Man, our boy is gonna be so strong. Good damage. You know, we're gonna get a fair amount of points, which is really gonna help Warrior, which should in turn help out Paladin and Martial Artist. So, it's not the worst thing in the world, alright? It's just a little bit annoying that we couldn't get a little bonus for Armamentalist. Oh, days, we'll rest up and then continue on. We'll at least get to level 22 and then we'll probably call it there. I love this music. You could just fall asleep to this music. Yeah. Hey, if you need trouble sleeping, or if you... sorry, you don't need trouble sleeping, right? You need to resolve trouble sleeping. Just look up Dragon Quest IX music, nighttime, I don't know what this track is called really, but you find it, you sleep to it, you know? Pretty good. Alright, I can end the poll. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna toss a border. Hiya! That is good damage. And we are only getting stronger. Guess what? It's the hiya! Hiya! That works. I mean, the stats aren't looking too bad. So, let's go to Gleaver, rest up there, and then continue grinding it out. How was everyone's day? We can, you know, bring up another discussion if you want. Like, anything you guys are interested in talking about? You know, if you want to like, that's fine. But part of the reason I'm doing YouTube is to talk to people, really. I'd like to get to know the community a bit more. Alright, not too bad. We are having a decent growth, so we should be better compared to Ranger. See, that's not too bad. So I'm liking Armamentals more than I thought I would. If only I knew that it couldn't learn Fist, that would have been great. I guess what would I have done differently? I don't really know. I really want to follow these birds. These birds aren't as bad. Come back here. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. I love this horse. That's a nice horse. Want to battle the bird? Not the mecha bird. Not the goat. Whatever I am. Not the rhino. The bird. See, we're looking pretty good in terms of stats. Would have been greater if we had level 100 fist, but still pretty good. Tell you what though, warrior, paladin, martial artists are gonna be insanely strong. They're gonna probably carry us throughout the rest of the game, hopefully. Warrior will give us a bit of strength, HP, and defense. Paladin will give us more defense and HP. And martial artists will give us agility and strength. Alright. Hiya! So that's pretty good damage. $18 to $20, so not too far to go. Alright, we'll just rest up, quickly level up, and then kind of just see what our sets are like for next week. You know? We'll compare it to Ranger, and see what we can kind of do with it. I'm actually liking the Memento so far. It's actually pretty decent. This shouldn't get us above level 22, so I should be fine. Okay, we're very close, so I gotta be careful about this. Hopefully I can just battle like one thing. Sure. That's not too bad. Alright. See, we got 42 points, right? For Warrior. We gotta use about 5 more points for Fisticuff. So that's 37 points immediately. And then we're guaranteed another 42 points. So that's 79 points towards Warrior already. Pretty good. You know, that should get us a bunch of strength, HP, maybe defense or resilience, you know. Combined with Warrior's like natural growth, should be enough to really carry us for a fair bit. Obviously the higher level we can go, the better. So I think we are getting there. So let's do what we usually do and strip in front of the Pope. Hey. So, Armamentalist. Pretty good. Resilience. Resilience is about the same as the Ranger. Strength is a bit more. HP is a bit more than a Ranger. Agility is kind of whatever, really. Not too bad. The resilience is a bit concerning. Because we didn't do too good defensively, you know? We're only slightly stronger and slightly healthier. We can equip better armor. Why don't we check that, right? So we'll go back to Ranger. Equip us out, see what our defense is looking like, and then compare that to our kitted out Armamentalist. So, a fully kitted out Ranger for us looks like Alright, well, a little bit more. 161 defense. Try to remember that. 161 defense. We'll compare that to a Ranger. Armamentalist, sorry. We'll compare that to Armamentalist. Alright, let's see. Alright, compared to 174, so we're looking pretty good, you know? 161 to 174. That's 13 points increase. Not too bad. Just trying to think of which one we could take on then. We are a bit stronger as well. It could go either way, but I'm open to suggestions. This will be for next week, so we got plenty of time to think about it. But I don't think we really got halfway with Ranger. And so the question is, will just a little bit of extra defense and health and a little bit more strength be able to really tip the tides in our favour? I guess if we had a little bit more stats, the Ranger would have been pretty okay against that Lizard. So this isn't the worst idea if we go for him. A little bit of HP, a little bit of defense, a little bit of strength, not too bad. I kind of forget what the coup de grace is, but let's check out our spells. Oh, we don't have any spells. That's a bit annoying. Could go either way, but that is going to be where we end the episode. You know, we did a fair bit. You know, next week we'll be going straight into a boss battle. And then we will finally go into Warrior and start maxing out some stats. Warrior, we're going to be like, you know, really pumping in the stats. Agility doesn't really matter, right? We can work around agility. But HP, strength, and resilience, we need. So we go Warrior, get some points into that, get some Fisticuff upgraded so we get additional 60 power. Pretty good. Hopefully we steamroll with Warrior for a bit. Then we go to Paladin. And then Martial Artist, and we should be good. So, while this section of the game is pretty rough, we are building the foundations for later. So I think we'll get there. Alright, so I would like to thank you all for watching. And, well, I'll see you later. Should be next week. See ya.